for our poor man's chicken fried steak sandwich, we need the beef that we did patty earlier so that it could chill in the patty form. We are using an 80-20 blend of ground beef. We need eggs with just a little bit of water. We'll beat those together, and then we have flour with salt and pepper. We have clarified butter in our skillet instead of the oil that our recipe originally calls for. Just adds an extra richness to the flavor. And then we have a paper towel lined plate ready to take the patties when they come out of the hot oil. And then additionally, we'll want a second skillet where we can add a little bit of that clarified butter to the inside of our hamburger buns that we'll serve this on. And we can toast those a little before assembling the sandwich. To begin making our poor man's chicken fried steak, we're going to turn our skillet onto a medium heat. And so that's 5 or 6 on a numbered dial. And I'm going to beat the eggs together till they're a nice lemony yellow color. And I don't want to see any yolk separate from white. That'll be a good indication that my eggs are ready for the next step. And I've already blended together my flour and salt and pepper. So we're going to take a patty one at a time. And with the size of our skillet, we should be able to fit 5 or 6 patties in our skillet all at once. And this is going to get a little messy because in order to build up the breading on this, we are actually going to do egg 3 times, flour 3 times. And then we're going to place it in the skillet. So there's 2 for our first patty. And here's our third. And then we're going to place this in our skillet of hot clarified butter. So we're going to continue to place those around the pan. Until it's full. Now we'll get a little better look at what's going on in our pan. You can see that the bottom has started to cook. And we want these to cook about 5 minutes on each side. We make sure to press our patties very thin so that they can cook quickly. And when you turn them, you want to be very careful not to splatter that clarified butter or oil if you choose to just use that to make these because it will be very hot and it would hurt quite a bit if it got on you. So we're going to start with the one. You can see how the color has changed a lot on the top. That's a good indication of how much heat it has taken in already. So we're going to get under here and then very gently turn it. And you can see that breading on there. It's made a really nice crust. It's going to add a ton of great flavor. And you can see how it sort of looks like fried chicken, which is how the dish gets its name, chicken fried steak. And then because it's made out of ground beef instead of a tenderized cut, that's the poor man's part of the name. So it's a very inexpensive but extremely delicious sandwich. So we'll just go ahead and get the rest of these flipped. And like I said, we're going to continue to cook about 5 minutes on each side so that we get the burger done on the inside of the breading. And this is just a pan fry. It's not very deep, but it's got enough of the fat to come up the side. This is a dry heat method of cooking. And this is pan fry. Give these just a couple minutes more before we turn them. Once our patties have cooked the required amount of time and they're done, we're going to move those onto that paper towel lined plate so that any excess grease can drain off of them. And after just a minute or two there, we'll be ready to assemble our sandwiches. So just to make the most out of this sandwich, I've taken some of that clarified butter and I have a skillet on a medium heat. And we're just going to toast that bun a little with that butter. And that'll just add one more layer of decadence and yum to our poor man's chicken fried steak sandwich. So here's our poor man's chicken fried steak. Brought together several elements of pre-preparation terms. We have bread, we have seed, we've caramelized, we used clarified butter, and if you choose to add your own homemade mayonnaise, you would also have created an emulsion or emulsified two liquids that don't normally like to stay together. It's a quite delicious sandwich. I encourage you to give the recipe a try.